Here's the harsh truth. Being busy isn't the same as being productive. I used to work 16-hour days thinking I was making progress until I realized I was completely burnt out. The moment I started building systems, everything changed. Now I've built and scaled multiple successful online businesses that make millions in profit, all while living life on my own terms. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 core systems that will help you hit your goals faster, get more of your time back so you can focus on what really matters in life. The first system is the 30-day vision. This might be the most important system I've ever developed, and it's so simple. I've been using this template for the last 15 years of my life, and it's been enormously helpful in helping me design the life and business of my dreams. You've probably heard of the 80-20 principle before. Well, when you 80-20 the 80-20 principle, what you get is the 4% formula, which really goes and dictates that 4% of your actions are gonna lead to 64% of your results. Think about that, right? What is the 4% that's going to go and lead to 64% of the benefit? So first off, we're gonna go and kind of chart out our vision here. So what's the one word for this month? I'm gonna put in unstoppable. That's what we're going for here. Now, when I think about the dream outcome for the month, right? This could be anything. It could be a revenue goal you have, a profit goal, could be a health goal. I'll go and put here 800K of revenue, let's just say. Okay? That's gonna give us what we need to go and invest in some insane stuff we have coming down the line. And how I wanna feel at the end of the month. So how I always wanna feel is I wanna feel peaceful and calm. Now, when I think about the one domino, what's that one thing I need to do to really achieve these big goals that I have in life? You know, inside of FounderOS, it's the content that builds the movement that drives founders to us. And that is one of the core flywheels. It's really the founder flywheel that exists inside of our business. It all comes down to exceptional content creation. Now, why this matters? Well, for me, my mission is to really go and unlock human potential. My goal is to help 100 million founders accomplish their dreams through proven systems, and each piece of content that we put out gets us one step closer to that big, hairy, audacious goal. Now I like to get into the one things. What's that one thing that you can do in these 4 areas of your life, your business, your personal growth, your health, your relationships, that when you do that thing, it makes everything else easier or unnecessary. And so when we think about business growth, the one thing is, say, creating 2 amazing YouTube videos per week. On the personal growth side of things, okay? For me, the one thing there is to make sure that I get 4 hours of founder flow every single day. So 4 hours daily of founder flow. And then when it comes to my health one thing, currently I'm going to Barry's every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here in London, England. So that's what we're gonna keep doing. Just those HIIT workouts every morning. Then, on the relationship, family one thing, let's just put here, call my parents weekly. So on the execution side of things, we now wanna think about, okay, week by week, what do we need to do to go and ladder up to these big goals that we have for the given month? So for me, it's maybe hiring a new editor, building a new company dashboard, getting the team retreat going to create maximum alignment amongst our entire team at FounderOS, and then hosting an epic Bali retreat here at the end of the month for 50 special founders inside of FounderOS. Now, the constraint right now is, as we're scaling up the video engine, is that honestly, we need another video editor. So, I've gone and put that as the constraint here. And hey, if you know anyone, tell them to reach out. And you saw that, right? That was like 3 minutes. You can go and spend 3 minutes right now, and go and fill this out for yourself so that you go and set yourself up for the best month of your life. So go check that out via the link in the description. System number 2 is radical deletion. Imagine trying to clean your room, but not even taking the trash out inside of it, right? And the same thing goes for your life. We oftentimes think that to become the person we're looking to become, or to create the business of our dreams, we need to keep adding things. But oftentimes the best approach is radical deletion. Going and stripping away all the noise, the clutter, the stuff that's just distracting you. The system I use before I actually go and build a system is that I ask myself, what can I remove? I look at myself like, Matt, 8 years ago, right? Here I was, and I was smoking way too much. I was consuming way too many substances. I had a lot of toxic people in my life that I allowed to just bring me down. I had multiple different ventures I was focused on all at once. And, honestly, I was incredibly distracted. And so what I realized is that first things first, before I just built some insane system around what I was doing, I actually had to start with just deleting so much of this. So, I became sober. I cleaned up more of my friend group. I got clear on just one thing I wanted to build, which became Founder OS. I started stripping away all these habits that were not supporting me. I was really radical about this. If there's something that I wasn't a hell yes about, I just deleted it. The same thing goes for your life, right? What are the relationships that are no longer supporting you? Delete them. What are those health habits that are actually moving you further away from your goals? Delete that shit. So here are the 3 steps you need to go and build a more simple life and be able to actually go and run this radical deletion process in your own life today. Number 1 is you need to do a deletion audit. Number 2 is then when you look at the stuff that's left, what's more of that stuff that you could automate to get more of your time back? And then thirdly, is there anything that you can go and delegate that's currently on your plate? Then what you're left with is just the few core things that exist inside of your zone of brilliance, the stuff that you are uniquely capable of, the stuff that's in your circle of competence. You don't need new habits, you need fewer bad ones. System number 3 is the North Star principle. This applies to your business, but it also applies to every relationship in your life. If you don't share the why, people won't care about the what. So we need a system that translates meaning to those around us. So whenever I'm building a new business, I like to have people in the room with me where we can actually go and chart out the vision for that company. The vision for Founder OS is something that I've constructed closely with my sister, who's my chief of staff. And so, how I look at the vision is it's kind of broken up into 10-year, 3-year, 1 year, and then 90-day goals. All right, so let's first start off with the 10-year goals. All right, these are the ones that should fire you up, get you insanely excited for what you're building. Well, first off, I wanna have founder retreat centers globally so that founders can share peak experiences with one another. In addition to that, I wanna ladder up all of our YouTube content here to getting a show on Netflix. So we'll put that there. I also wanna make sure that we just have a remarkable company culture. So, amazing A players all across the company. When it comes then to the 3-year vision of what I need to do to ladder up to that, we need to get our newsletter to 3 million subs, okay? And it's well on its way, just crossed around 300K subscribers. In addition to that, we need to continue to grow the audience around Founder OS and this amazing movement that we're building, the Founder Freedom Movement, to over 12 million people across social. Now, on the team side, what that needs to be is that we just continue to reinforce, the company culture and our values. Over the next year, the things that will help me go and build out this audience, it'll help our team scale. Well, there's a number of things. We need to have an amazing, company dashboard to show us all the core metrics. I need to get my book published once and for all, so the book needs to be released. In addition to that, we need to grow social to an audience of over 5 million people on social, okay? So we've got all of that detailed out. And then what I'm able to do then is then take all of that and then create clear 90-day goals. So right now, to hit our content goals, we need to hire a video editor. We also need to go and finish the manuscript of the book. And then lastly, we are going to host a team retreat so the team can come together in Bali and jam on the 2026 plan. So here you can see, the 10-year, 3-year, and 1-year goals all synthesized that then allow me to go and make sure that what I'm working on for the remainder of this year go and ladder up to the big goals that I have in my life. So if you're serious about actually going and accomplishing what you're looking to do, first off, you need to go and map out your North Star just like I've done it here. Now, if you want this template, again, go and get it via the link in the description. Now, in addition to that, what you want to do is go a layer deeper and make sure that you start going and really talking about this vision with your team, with your audience, your community, so that people start to kind of band around it, because nothing goes and motivates people more than a compelling vision. And so you need to go and map out your vision today so you can start building that movement around you. System number 4 is drawing the blueprint. Do you even understand something if you can't draw it out on a napkin? I remember when I was first going and building Founder OS, I knew that I should build a business so simple that I could draw it on a 1-page flow chart and then make sure that over time that I have key owners for each aspect of the business so that it's as simple, it's as peaceful, and profitable as possible. So first things first here, right? We start with the content side of things, right? Which is really the fuel for how it all grows. At first I had started on X and LinkedIn, and then over time brought all of that writing I was doing to platforms like IG, YouTube, and to TikTok, okay? And this part is all owned by a content manager on my team named Diego. Okay. Inevitably, the content is going to lead to leads being generated, right? And first things first, that is an owned audience inside of a newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter going out, and this is owned by someone on my team named Nils. Okay. Now, inevitably, as people go and book sales calls with us, and we make sales. This kind of process and all the sales area of my company is managed by a guy named Zach. Okay, and so things like sales call reviews, the sales script, the different payment links, all that stuff is owned in sales. Now you got to actually go and deliver on that thing. And so the delivery behind Founder OS is simple, okay? We have systems, we have support, and we have community, okay? A community of over 800 high-growth founders, over 180 powerful systems that I've used to build multiple profitable companies, and support through over 50 live sessions every single month with my team. And so in this area, this is all owned by a gentleman named Sean. Now you're delivering on the given thing, okay? But as part of that too, obviously you need to write collections department, right? Or finance function in your company. So here, it's all the finance functions around, accounts receivable, reporting, all that good stuff. And so that is all owned by someone on my team named Hayden, okay? And then obviously once we've collected cash, the key thing here then is you've delivered an amazing service, people are really fired up. You essentially want to drive renewals and recommendations, okay? People leaving amazing reviews, right? And then people being upsold to bigger offerings we have. All of this process so far gives us an enormous amount of data that's all tracked inside of a CEO dashboard that I've created inside of Founder OS. And this is owned by someone on my team named Dawn. Now, as we start to collect all this data, okay, we can essentially go and actually drive insights from the data, which is honestly the most valuable part of it all, right? Because, it's one thing to actually collect data, it's another thing to actually then use it to inform different areas of the business. So the insights here come through a weekly report that is generated, okay? And that is owned by Nick on my team, okay? So the insights that we go and generate then are able to go and fuel our approach to audience growth, okay? We get different insights. As an example, that let's just say a lot of founders are actually really obsessed with getting their time back. Well, we're gonna again go and use those insights to go and create more high converting content, okay? And the type of content that, you guys actually care about. So we're making more of the stuff that you guys are signaling to us that you really wanna see, and less of the stuff that honestly you don't care about. So on that side, it's a gentleman named Yan on my team that owns that. That audience growth, right, then feeds in to our content GPS, which is the most powerful system I've ever created, okay? And that really consists of an amazing video, an application, okay? And then a smart router that routes the right people to the right product for them, right? Because there's a bunch of different offerings that we have for different kinds of founders. And then you guessed it, right? We generate, a lot of insights from that as well that feed our content. And this whole thing creates this amazing flywheel behind Founder OS. By just simply drawing it like this, where it's like simply laid out, all these 9 pieces are all labeled. There's a key stage, some bullets underneath it, and then an owner. I can really just get a snapshot of what this business is supposed to become. Now, every time I create any system, it always starts with pen and paper. So before you make a system or a plan, just draw it up. Put the 9 different stages or 7 different stages, put a key owner and then the key bullet points for each aspect. And then look at it and ask yourself, where's this going to break? And start building different redundancies there so that you have a strong, simple system. If you can draw it like I've just shown you, you can achieve it. This leads me to my next point, that AI eats systems for breakfast. This is where you're gonna get insane leverage if your systems are documented. All right, so as with most things, I'm a lot better at showing you than telling you. So what I've gone here is I've opened up the Claude app on my desktop here. So inside of Claude, you can see that all the core systems that I've made and that I've even shown you here, they become Claude projects. So a system becomes a project. Say as we've gone through things, right? I showed you that map that I made of my entire business for Founder OS. Now, I've gone and made that whole image and system into a project called Clockwork to basically ensure that my business runs like clockwork. Each project can now have its own memory and instructions, so I can go and add in clear instructions that allow me to go and scale my business to hit its revenue goals, profit goals, and the overall mission, vision, and values that we have. Right? And so what I get here is almost like a COO at my fingertips. And so you can do the same with your Claude project, right? Set up projects for your different systems. Make sure that you add in really detailed instructions. As you can see here with mine, we're talking like 2-3 page prompts here, right? They get into the exact words I use, the exact systems that I have. I help it go and map out different strategies to get Founder OS from where it is today to $20 million a year. I use it to go and run different reports and analysis on the company, to go and find the most high leverage tasks that I have. And I use it also in those monthly plans that I started this video with so that I can go and outline, okay, well, what's the one thing I should be most focused on this month? This is what the future of entrepreneurship and really high growth individuals looks like, right? It's, yes, being systemized, but it's not optional anymore, right? So what do you need to do to take advantage of all this? Well, number one, you need to go and document your core systems. Number two is that you need to go and then build leverage by running those by others in your life to refine them. Number three is then you want to make sure that every system has an owner. And number four, in the new AI era, you need to make sure that every system you create has a project inside of Claude or ChatGPT. From there, number five is that, like anything in life, right? It's about iterating, making the project better, the instructions better, the outputs better. This is how you go and build a legendary life. And this is also how you go and accomplish your dreams 10x faster than those around you. So if you want to go and set up your Claude the same way I've set up all my projects, well, I provided you with a complete guide via the link in the description. So go and check that out and go and take action building these things today. At the end of the day, freedom doesn't come from working harder. It comes from building better systems. Start small, keep it simple, and remember, the more clearly you can think, the more leverage you create. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and go and check out this video next.